The shuttle doors hissed open, and Lieutenant Rhea Torres stepped onto the surface of Vesper 9, the only world in the Orion Rift officially labeled Neverland here. Not because the planet was toxic or unstable or full of hostile wildlife. No, the danger was far stranger. Vesper 9 was sentient, and worse, it talked. Her alien escorts, two towering Cerati guardians, plated in iridescent armor, shifted nervously as the ground rippled under their feet like a living heartbeat. They looked at Rhea with the same expression aliens always gave humans before something went wrong. A silent "why is she smiling?" "Lieutenant," Commander Vorin whispered, mandibles clicking nervously. "If the planet addresses you directly, remain calm. Do not react emotionally. Do not." A tremor rolled across the plains. The crystalline trees swayed. The sky itself hummed like a struck tuning fork. Then, in a voice that seemed to come from the soil, the wind, and the stones all at once, the planet spoke. "Rhea Torres, you finally returned." Both Cerati froze. One dropped his weapon. The other muttered a prayer to the Stars Park ancestors and took 3 steps back. Their mission debrief had been clear. Vesper 9 had never spoken a human name before. Not once. Not ever. Rhea narrowed her eyes. Returned? She had never even been here. That was when the ground in front of her opened gently. Not violently. Not threatening, like a doorway made of living earth. A faint, pulsing light glowed beneath. "Yeah, that's new," Rhea muttered. The Cerati commander hissed. "Lieutenant, this breach is not part of the expected protocol." Rhea stepped closer anyway. She didn't know why, but something in the way the planet said her name felt familiar. Before descending, she tapped her wrist cam and glanced directly at it. "If you're watching this," she said, "hit the like button so Command doesn't cut our funding. And subscribe. I might need backup." The ground shuddered again, more urgently this time. Rhea Torres took a breath, tightened her gloves, and stepped into the glowing wound in the planet. Vesper 9 closed behind her like lips sealing a secret, and deep below something smiled. The descent wasn't a fall. It wasn't even a slide. It felt more like the planet was carrying Rhea downward, like a hand gently lowering a fragile object it somehow knew how to handle. A soft bioluminescent glow spread through the walls around her. The air warmed. For a moment, she could almost swear she heard a heartbeat that wasn't hers. Then the floor formed beneath her boots. She stepped into a cavern that should have been impossible. 100 meters across. Perfectly smooth. Perfectly round. Its walls shimmered with hexagonal crystalline plates, like a honeycomb made of living glass. They shifted, rotated, and realigned each time she moved, as though tracking her. In the center of the chamber stood a monolith of dark stone, and carved into its surface, Rhea's face, not similar, not approximate, exact, even a small scar on her left cheek from a childhood fall. She staggered back instinctively. "What the hell?" The planet answered. "We remember you." Her wrist comm crackled, Commander Vorin's panicked voice bleeding through static. "Lieutenant, your vitals are fluctuating. What do you see?" Torres responded. But the signal died, swallowed by the chamber itself. Rhea approached the monolith slowly. Her fingers hovered just centimeters from the carved features. "This is impossible," she whispered. "You shouldn't know me. You shouldn't know anything." The cavern dimmed, and the light concentrated behind the monolith, illuminating a second carving she hadn't noticed before. A figure standing behind her likeness. Taller, armored. Familiar in a way that made her stomach knot. Her father, dead for 15 years. Rhea stumbled backward. Goosebumps swept down her arms. No. There is no universe where this planet knows him. The honeycomb plates shifted rapidly, tiles rotating to reveal thousands of new images. Her mother, her childhood home in Patagonia, her graduation ceremony, her father's coffin, every memory, every moment, every secret, displayed like the planet had lived inside her mind. "Why?" Rhea demanded, voice breaking. "Why are you showing me this?" The monolith pulsed once, like a slow heartbeat. We must warn you." The chamber darkened. The air grew cold. The voice of the planet dropped to a whisper that seemed to vibrate directly inside her skull. "He is not dead." Rhea froze. The planet continued. "Your father is alive, and he is coming here." Her breath stopped short. That's not possible. We buried him. I saw." The cavern trembled violently, silencing her. "You buried what remained of his body, not his mind." Rhea's knees nearly buckled. Somewhere above, she heard distant rumbling, as if the surface itself was reacting to what had just been spoken. The monolith split open, revealing a spiraling descent leading deeper into the planet's core. "Follow," the planet commanded. "Time is ending." Rhea swallowed hard. Then she started down the path, every instinct screaming that whatever she found below would change not just her life, but the fate of every world that ever feared humanity. The spiral passage tightened as Rhea descended, its walls shifting with every step. The crystalline plates moved like muscles contracting around a heartbeat, and for a moment she had the unnerving sense that the planet wasn't just alive. It was listening. A soft hum started beneath her boots. Then a vibration. Then, unmistakably, a signal. Rhea froze mid-step. A transmission. Encrypted in a military pattern she knew better than her own reflection. Earth Defense Command. High priority channel. A channel that no one outside Sol should have access to. "What are you doing?" she whispered to the planet. "Where are you picking this up?" The hum sharpened into a voice. "Lieutenant Rhea Torres, respond. If you're alive." Her heart slammed into her ribs. She knew that voice. Knew it with the kind of certainty that made her skin crawl. "Dad!" Static swallowed the echo. "Dad!" she shouted, slamming her palm against the crystalline wall. "Answer me. How are you?" The wall reacted, flaring with blinding white light. Communications symbols spiraled across it. Encryption keys, waveform signatures, all of it old Earth tech they'd abandoned decades ago. Her father shouldn't be alive. Couldn't be alive. Yet here his voice had traveled through a planet that predated every civilization in the Orion Arm by millions of years. She pressed her ear to the wall. "Dad, if that's really you, say something only you would know." Silence. Then, Rhea Bird. Her breath hitched. He hadn't called her that since she was 5, a name she'd never spoken aloud to a single soul in 20 years. "Dad, where are you?" Deep below, "Don't trust." His voice cut off mid-sentence. "No," Rhea shouted. "Come back." The chamber went dark, leaving only the faint glow of the downward path. "No more delays," she muttered. "If he's here, I'm finding him." She ran. The tunnel opened into a massive cavern, far larger than the first. Suspended in the center was a sphere of liquid metal swirling around a pulsating core. Floating around, there were thousands of objects. Human objects, Earth relics, badges, old rifles, dog tags, a child's wooden toy plane. Her throat tightened. This is impossible," she whispered. A hologram materialized above the sphere, a map of the galaxy lighting sector by sector. Red zones spread like infection across the outer rim. The planet's voice returned, louder, resonant, filling every corner of the cavern. "Earth was not your origin." Rhea staggered. "What are you talking about?" "The hell else would be?" The planetary consciousness surged. "We seeded your species. Your father found the truth. Now he is becoming something you cannot yet understand." The cavern quaked violently. The liquid metal sphere cracked open, releasing a silhouette, a tall figure, human-shaped, armored in something that wasn't metal. Something grown. Rhea's breath caught. Her father stepped forward, eyes glowing faintly, as though lit from inside. "Hello, Rhea." His voice echoed unnaturally. She backed away. No, that's not. You're not him." He smiled, the same gentle, tired smile she remembered. "I'm still me," he said softly, "but we don't have long. The architects are waking." The cavern shuddered as distant thunder rolled through the stone. Rhea reached instinctively for her sidearm. "Dad, what did you become?" He met her gaze, and for a heartbeat, she saw both her father. and something far older behind his eyes. Humanity's first ancestor, he whispered, and its final weapon. Rhea raised her weapon slowly, her hand shaking, not from fear, from a sickening uncertainty twisting through her chest. The man standing before her looked like her father, spoke like her father, even felt like him in the subtle way he shifted his weight, the way his eyes softened when he looked at her. But the armor fused to his skin, the faint pulse of energy beneath it, the resonance in his voice. None of that was human. What did they do to you? Rhea whispered. What did this planet turn you into? Her father stepped closer, and the cavern's biolights brightened in response, like the planet welcomed him but tolerated her. I'm not your enemy, Rhea, he said. I never was. I came here investigating a derelict signal 15 years ago. My ship went down on entry. I should have died. You did die, she said. We buried you. We saw your remains. He nodded slowly. You buried a shell. The part of me that stayed human long enough to send itself home. Her stomach dropped. You're saying? What? There were two of you. No. His expression softened with something almost like sorrow. There was me, and then there was the moment this world awakened me. The cavern rumbled as though reacting to the word. Rhea braced herself against the shifting floor. Awakened you how? He gestured toward the swirling liquid metal sphere above them. The architects created humanity, he said. Not as soldiers, not as slaves, as a contingency. Against what? He held her gaze. Against themselves. The words punched the air from her lungs. The architects engineered entire star systems, he continued. They created life, worlds, weapons, but they feared something, a rival born from their own hubris, a parasitic intelligence that devours civilizations and rewrites their biology. The Voidmind. Rhea's pulse spiked. She'd heard the name only in classified horror briefings. A myth. A cautionari tale. You're telling me the Voidmind is real? It's more than real. It's coming. He pointed upward. Through layers of rock and crystal, Rhea could feel vibrations like distant engines. But humanity, he said, we were designed to be unpredictable, adaptive, resistant to assimilation. A species built as the one thing the Voidmind couldn't control. Rhea shook her head, refusing to accept this. No, humans evolved on Earth because of environmental pressures, climate, ecosystems, which the architects engineered. The cavern flared with blinding light, and suddenly the walls showed Earth's history in moving panels. Primitive hominids, meteor impacts, ice ages, evolutionary leaps. Each one touched, nudged, accelerated. Not controlled, her father said gently. Guided. Rhea stared as the images dissolved back into shimmering crystal. If that's true, she said, why wait until now? Why reveal this at all? Her father stepped closer, the alien armor humming softly. Because the Voidmind found Earth, he said. They're already infiltrating the outer colonies. And soon, he paused, his glowing eyes shifting upward. They'll be here. A deafening impact shook the cavern so violently Rhea nearly fell to her knees. Dust poured from the ceiling. The light dimmed. Somewhere above, something massive tore through the planet's crust. Her father turned to her with a look she hadn't seen since childhood. Protective, fearless, deadly serious. Rhea, he said, you need to choose, trust me, or die with the others when they arrive. She tightened her grip on her weapon, and before she could ask who they were, a jagged, biomechanical tendril ripped through the cavern wall, dripping with metallic spores, shrieking like a machine in agony. The Voidmind had arrived. The tendril crashed fully through the cavern wall, spraying shards of crystalline plating across the chamber like razor shrapnel. Rhea dove behind a jutting slab of stone as the tendril scraped along the floor. Metallic, alive, and moving with a predatory intelligence. Her father didn't flinch. He raised one hand, and the alien armor fused into his flesh pulsed once, sending ripples of energy across its surface. The Voidmind tendril recoiled as though struck, emitting a screeching frequency that vibrated straight through Rhea's teeth. Stay back, he warned, his voice echoing with a resonance not entirely human. "I wasn't planning on hugging it," Rhea snapped, aiming her pulse sidearm at the creature. Her father extended an arm, blocking her shot. "You shoot it with that, and it'll adapt to the energy signature in seconds. Then it'll rewrite its own biology to make you its next meal." "So what does work?" Rhea demanded. The cavern floor split open as more tendrils slithered out. 3, then 5, then a dozen. Each one a fusion of organic tissue and shifting nanometal. They encircled the chamber like serpents preparing to strike. Her father met her eyes. "Old technology," he said. "Analog. Physical. Anything the architects didn't build." Rhea blinked. "Dad, I didn't pack a medieval sword." He smiled faintly. "You didn't have to." The planet responded to his words. Crystalline plates tore free from the walls, swirling around Rhea like a storm of luminous shards. They twisted, spiraled, merged, forming a long, obsidian black blade that felt warm the moment it dropped into her hands. She stared at it in awe. "Is this a weapon built before the Voidmind existed?" he said. "It can adapt to something that predates its evolution." The tendrils reacted instantly, converging on her as though they recognized the threat. "Great," Rhea muttered. "I'm holding the alien equivalent of a wooden club." "Not a club," her father corrected. "A key." Before she could ask what he meant, the Voidmind struck. 3 tendrils lunged at once. Rhea moved on instinct, swinging the blade in a wide arc. The edge sliced through all 3 tendrils in one perfect stroke. No resistance, no drag like cutting water. The severed pieces writhed on the ground, leaking quicksilver-like fluid that evaporated into vapor. Her father's transformed voice boomed. "Don't let them touch you." He launched himself into the swarm with inhuman speed, the armor on his arms splitting into blade-like protrusions. He carved a path through the tendrils, each strike precise, calculated, utterly deadly. But the Voidmind adapted fast. The next wave came larger. Thicker tendrils reinforced with metallic plating. One slammed into the ground inches from Rhea, shaking the cavern and nearly knocking her off her feet. "This is bad," she shouted. Her father seized a tendril and crushed it with enhanced strength. "This is only the scout," he yelled back. "The main body is still tunneling through the crust." "You mean this thing has a body?" He pointed upward as the cavern ceiling cracked open, revealing a massive shadow descending through the layers of rock. A monstrous biomechanical mass, like a hive, a brain, and a war engine fused together, dripping with tendrils that radiated hunger. The Voidmind Prime. Rhea stepped beside her father, gripping the ancient blade with both hands. "So what's the plan?" she asked. He gave her a grim smile. "Survive long enough to hear it." The Voidmind Prime dropped into the cavern like a meteor made of muscle and machinery. Its impact shattered the remaining crystalline pillars and sent a shockwave pulsing outward, one strong enough to fling Rhea into a wall. Her ancient blade clattered beside her. Her ears rang. Dust thickened the air. But through the haze, she heard it. Not a roar, not a screech. A voice. "Rhea." She froze. The word hadn't come from her father or from any physical mouth. It came from inside her skull, cold, metallic, and threaded with something disturbingly familiar. The Voidmind Prime rose, its colossal form unfolding like an insect emerging from a chrysalis. Plates of shimmering alloy shifted over sinewy fiber tissue, forming a grotesque silhouette that pulsed with an inner radiance. Her father stepped in front of her, arms raised, armor glowing. "Don't listen to it. It's pulling data directly from your neural patterns." Rhea stared. "It knows my name. It knows everything it touches," he said. "That's why the architects created it, and why they lost control." The Prime lowered a central tendril tipped with a mini-lens sensor cluster. It studied Rhea with a curious, almost childlike fascination. Her own memories flickered across its metallic irises. Her mother's smile, the academy hangar, her first star jump. Images she'd buried deep. "You are incomplete," the voice whispered in her mind. "Like the architects before you." but you can be rewritten. Oh, absolutely not, Rhea muttered, snatching up her blade. Her father grabbed her arm. If it links with you, even for a second, it will eat your memories and rebuild your mind as a subsystem. You'll think you're helping it. Rhea swallowed hard. Can it be killed? Yes, he said, but not by force. The Prime shifted its mass, tendrils coiling like serpents preparing to strike. The cavern groaned under its weight. Then how? She demanded. He hesitated, and that terrified her more than the creature. By completing the one thing the architects never could, he said. You have to show it something it cannot predict. That sounds vague and also impossible. It's the only vulnerability, novelty, true unpredictability. Before Rhea could process that, the Prime struck. A massive tendril whipped toward her with silent, deadly precision. She raised the blade instinctively, and the ancient weapon hummed, absorbing the impact like it was alive. The tendril recoiled, stunned. Her father's eyes widened. It responded to you. That's new. They were never supposed to attune to humans. Is that good or bad? He didn't answer. Because the Prime was changing, its skin shifted, cycling through biomatter configurations so quickly they blurred, like it was searching for something. Adapting, learning, understanding her. It spoke again, louder this time. You're not like the others. You are a question. Rhea felt a shiver run through her as the giant machine organism leaned closer. We remember the architects. We consumed their fears, but we have never consumed curiosity. The cavern trembled as the Prime's tendrils spread outward, forming a lattice of growing metallic roots. Her father backed toward her, urgency etched in every movement. Rhea, listen to me. Whatever it wants, you cannot give it. She tightened her grip on the blade. And if I refuse? He stared at the enormous creature in front of them, then at the ancient weapon in her hands. Then you'll have to teach a galaxy-eating machine the one idea it was never built for. Rhea swallowed, and that is... He met her eyes. No, the Voidmind Prime froze at the single word, as if the concept itself overloaded some hidden process. Its luminous tendrils halted midair, their tips crackling with static. For the first time since arriving on the planet, the creature didn't advance. It waited. Rhea took a step forward, blade humming softly in her grip. Her father hissed, Rhea, stop. You don't understand how literal it is. If you introduce contradictory logic too quickly, it could implode. She shrugged. That'd solve our problem. No, he said sharply. It would evolve. The Prime's lenses focused on Rhea, dozens of glowing pupils dilating in unison like a machine learning to blink. Its voice filled her head again, this time strained, glitching, as if wrestling with a concept it had never encountered. Define. No. Rhea exhaled. It means you don't get what you want. The cavern vibrated with a low, resonant hum, almost like a warning. Her father whispered, Careful. It's trying to predict the next part of your reasoning. Don't let it. If it finishes the pattern, it will adapt and overwrite the contradiction, right? So I have to be unpredictable on purpose. She squared her shoulders. Okay, giant brain bug. You want to rewrite me? Fine. Rewrite this. She flipped the blade in her hand and deliberately stabbed it into the ground, then kicked it away from herself. Her father nearly choked. Rhea, what are you doing? The Prime reeled back, confused, its predictive matrices momentarily blind. Its entire design depended on understanding intention, and Rhea had just done something that contradicted every survival instinct it expected. Unmapped behavior, it said, voice quavering. Purpose unclear. Recalculate. Recalculate. Rhea walked toward it, hands open, completely unarmed. Here's something the architects never taught you, she said softly. Sometimes we choose the wrong move on purpose. Sometimes we confuse ourselves. Sometimes we do things with no meaning at all. Her father stared at her, horrified but unable to deny the effect. The Prime's massive frame shuddered. Its armor plates rippled like disturbed water. A sound like grinding metal echoed through the cavern as the creature struggled to process her words. No, meaning detected. Contradiction unresolved. System cannot complete prediction. Then the huge machine organism lowered itself until its primary lens was level with Rhea's face. It wasn't threatening her. It was begging her for comprehension. Teach. No. She leaned forward, voice a whisper. No means you can't control everything. The Prime trembled violently. Her father started pulling her back. Rhea, stop. Its core is destabilizing. You're rewriting its directives faster than it can compensate. The cavern's ceiling cracked. Energy surged around the Voidmind Prime like a storm forming inside its body. But Rhea didn't back away. You wanted a mind to copy, she said. Then understand this. Humans aren't code. You can't predict us. You can't complete us. And you can't control us. The Prime's lenses dilated to full aperture. No control. No. Prediction. Incomplete. Its voice broke into a chorus of unstable echoes, shaking the ground. We are incomplete. The air turned electric. Her father pulled her back as the Prime's core flared with blinding light. Rhea, move. The Voidmind Prime began to collapse in on itself. Not dying, not exploding, evolving into something new. The cavern roared as the Voidmind Prime folded inward, layers of living alloys sliding against one another like tectonic plates, reshaping a planet. Light poured from the cracks between its armor, bright enough to paint the rocks white. Rhea shielded her eyes, stumbling as the ground shook beneath her boots. Her father dragged her behind a stone outcrop. Down! Don't look directly at it. Its core is rewriting itself. But it's not attacking, she said, breath hitching. It's changing. The Prime's voice fractured into a storm of overlapping tones. Childlike, ancient, mechanical, panicked. Unmapped identity. Input required. Defined purpose. The light dimmed just enough for Rhea to see its new shape forming. It was smaller now, no longer a towering deity of the architects. Its frame folded into a compact, humanoid silhouette, as if shedding layers of perfection it no longer believed in. Finally, the glowing storm settled. What remained was a figure almost her height, plated in silver-white armor, bioluminescent cracks pulsing across its chest like a heartbeat. It knelt on one knee, not in aggression, but in genuine uncertainty. Rhea, her father whispered, awestruck, "You didn't break it. You made it self-aware." The Prime, no, the new version of it, lifted its head. Its voice was quiet now, unsteady. "Define me." Rhea stepped forward slowly. For the first time, the creature did not predict the movement. It simply watched. "You don't need someone else to define you," she said. "That's your first human lesson. You choose who you want to be." The creature trembled, its internal lights flickering. "Choice is permitted?" "Error. No previous record of choice." "Requesting clarification." "How?" Rhea smiled softly. "You start by deciding what you won't be." She pointed back at the ruins of the massive form it once inhabited. "You're not the architect's weapon anymore." The creature turned its gaze to the shattered shell behind it. A long pause. Then slowly, "I choose no violence." Her father exhaled in relief. "Then we're safe." But the creature wasn't finished. "And I choose you," it said to Rhea. "You are unpredictable. You are incomplete. You are free. Teach me freedom." Rhea blinked, stunned. Her father muttered, "Well, that's going to be complicated." The cavern roof groaned as another quake rolled through the subterranean chamber. The old planetary systems, the ones the architects had left buried, were reacting to the Prime's metamorphosis. "We need to get topside," Rhea said. "Move." They sprinted toward the ascending tunnel as the newborn being followed, its presence bending the dim light around it like a living star struggling to understand its own gravity. At the exit, sunlight washed over them. The creature paused, staring at the sky, its glowing armor reflecting the open blue as if this was the first real color it had ever seen. "Rhea," it said, "what is this feeling?" She glanced back. "That's hope," she said, and a little fear. "Welcome to being alive." The creature looked to the horizon, processing, and it took its first step into the world. And that's where our story begins.